so I could actually show off the old figures versus the new figures. Thanks for joining me. Hey, from Puerto Rico, thanks for joining us, Juan Solo. You know, Juan Soto's name's pretty cool. No, it sounds like Han Solo. I just love that, how it has that kind of Star Wars flair to it. That is such a cool name. I still did not charge my AA light yet, so we're going to use light number 1 today. And before we get started, someone told me there's a key on the back of Ram Man's head from yesterday. There it is. I didn't even notice it because, oh, it's the Grayskull key. I recognize this key. I actually made it in 3D one time for somebody because they lost their key. That is the key that comes with Scare Glow. That's hilarious. Anyway, I don't know why it's in the back of his head. I have no clue. All right, I got one more figure to find, and then we'll get started. I'm looking for the Clawful that came with, I believe we got a Clawful. We had to have, with Origins. I may have already sold them if we did. I don't recall. But I could have sworn we got one because I talked about getting 2 to combine the claws to do some customs. There he is. I thought we got a Clawful and Origins. There he is. Okay. Now I am ready. I got all my ducks in a row. Got some hot water ready. We are a go. Let's see who's joined us. Let's see. We got... Oh, the screen's all messing up. Anyway, we got Jamie, thanks for joining us. Unicron, thanks for being here. Mike V, thanks for being here. Charles, thanks for being here. Got a lot of people here. Adam, a Grayskull, he begged on us. He said it was too late. Too late, man. And let's dive into this fun. So, it is Sunday night, as many of you guys know, and I took off next week for 2 purposes. One purpose is to get this room clean, but that's not the primary purpose. The primary purpose is to finish my Point Dread attachment for Grayskull. So hopefully I'll get that done this week. That is my main purpose for taking off this week. So that will be so cool. All right, so I got this from Big Bad Toy Store. So we always ask, where'd you get this from? Hey, Dorky Hippie, thanks for joining us. Accessory, thanks for being here. Sorry you got a double stream, man. Luckily, you have 2 ears, one for each headphone for each broadcast. All right, so let's see. Clawful, warrior with a grip of evil. In the nightmarish lands of Clawful are well known among the sea-fearing adventures of the new Eternia. The king of the Claw people can shipwreck an entire vessel with a single snap. He has been rumored to pillage the wreckage and drag seafarers to the deepest, darkest waters. Captains change course at a mere mention of his name. Clawful, let's get out of here. But they are only rumors, aren't they? Bum, bum, bum. And just like with Ram Man, they gave us some extra armor with him, it looks like, and some other things. So we'll check that out. And we'll see any instructions on the bottom of the box. Nope, nope. There's a cool picture of him. Oh, with his mighty, meaty claw. Mighty, meaty. All right. Let's go ahead and bust this open. I need to get a fan in this room. It is hot in here. Where did I sit my scissors this time? Here they are. And let's go ahead and bust them out of here. There he is. And he comes with lots of fun little extras too. Wait a minute. I thought this is the armor that Buzz-Off came with. Maybe the armor is similar. No, you know, Buzz-Off has a different shaped crystal. I wonder if the crystals all mean something. There's some kind of storyline we'll find out later on. That the crystals empower them or some crazy thing. I don't know. Anyway, let's get the back of his armor out of here. And then we'll get his shield out, his Tila shield. Tila shield. And then we got this little extra armband piece. Which I wish they'd include 2 when they have something like this, so you'd have 1 on each arm. That'd be kind of cool. And you got this extra armor here, which will probably go on somebody else. And uh-oh, I think the Panduit's stronger than the mace. All right, I got the mace window out. Okay, it's just a mace. It has no name. Oh, here he is. Clawful the Awful. At the mere sound of his name, ships flee. Captains flee. And why isn't his... There's his joint. There we go. Okay, let's talk about his articulation. His name is Colorful. Okay. Colorful. Like colorful? That's funny. I like the armor. All right, Gnomesky. Ralph Vader guy says, I hope they make a flocked Masterverse Panther. That'd be cool. All right, so let's take a look here. We have ankle articulation, I'm sure. Yep. We have a boot cut, which is nice because then you can change the boots out really easily. We have double jointed knees. The bottom joint moves great. Oh, turn my light on here. But the top one seems to be stuck. Ugh, there we go. Got it unstuck. Then we have a thigh cut, upper leg movement. We have his waist turns, his upper chest area turns, or actually abdomen turns, I guess that would be. Then we have his shoulder, bicep cut, double jointed elbows. This one's really loose. His claw doesn't turn over. Oh, there we go. Whew. Oh, his claw was stuck and I can't get the other one. There we go. So like with Ram Man, the double jointed elbow doesn't really do too much more. They could have made that a single joint and make it work better. But not as bad as Ram Man's was. On this side though, his arm's a little bigger, so, or not quite so, or smaller, I mean, so it does have more. And then of course his head moves. All right, we're going to talk a lot about his eyebrows because those have been changed throughout the years. Oh, that is bright with that on. What is going on here? There we go. So we're going to talk about those eyebrows as we continue. It's funny, they look darker now on the camera than they do in real life, but that's okay. I hope they come out with Cyclone in Origins. Yes. Nuclear crab. Ooh, he's glowing. All right, so let's do a quick high comparison. I'll just grab Ram Man because he's still sitting out here. He's taller than Ram Man. Holy cow. I guess Ram Man's short in this series. I figured Ram Man was big in this series, but I guess not. Rammy Mammy. All right, and let's take a look at He-Man. Here's a Classics, which I'm probably going to use as Clawful of my Classics because I like that he's bigger. But so this is probably going to be in my new Classics. We'll see. We'll compare it with the Classics in a minute. And let's compare him next to the other He-Man. Oh, that's not He-Man, that's He-Bro. Well, here he is. He's throwing in the pile over here. And He-Man's actually taller than Clawful. So, surprising. So there we go. And these guys are from the same toy line, being the new Eternia toy line. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some comparisons. I didn't throw this guy back in his box. Back to the box for you. And for you too. I'll just throw him in the box too while I'm at it. Do some cleaning here. Make my chore easier during the week. So, what I have here is some Clawfuls that are reminiscent of the 80s. This is actually a Clawful. It's the commemorative. And you can tell it's commemorative because it has an indent on its feet on the bottom. That's how you know. Oh, that's funny. It's starting to bulge. And they made them originally so if they bulge, they wouldn't fall over. And so I guess that is finally paid off after all these years because it is starting to bulge. Now, what's interesting is Clawful, both for the 80s and the commemorative, have something really cool. and that is they have two different kind of legs. So they have legs that are like Buzz-Off's legs, and they have legs that are like Skeletor's legs. And so you could technically get a random Clawful back in the 80s, and you won't know which one you get unless you look in the package before you open it. But you can get either the Buzz-Off or the Skeletor version. Now, when I bought the commemorative ones, the 5-pack had one of the legs, and the non-5-pack had the other. So that's how you had to get the two different ones for the commemorative. But back in the 80s, it was whichever one you happened to get. And I got rid of one of these, and I was kicking myself, so I had to go back and find... I like the Buzz-Off legs better. I thought, I don't need both, but then I wanted to make a video one day, and I had to go try to hunt one down, and I actually did find a commemorative one still in the package that had the Skeletor legs. I think the Skeletor legs was the standard release, and this was the 5-pack, but I can't remember which is which, so don't quote me on that. All right. They then had a statue that came out with the 2000X version, and that statue, I actually had it, articulated it, and then I ended up, what did I do? I'm trying to think. Oh, I ended up selling it. That's right. I sold it. All right, so the Clawful we got from Mattel looked like this, but had this head right here. Okay, so we got this head with the big old Groucho Marx eyebrows. Groucho Marx. And that's what it looks like. These big old... Excuse me. That was reminiscent of the 80s. They had the Groucho Marx eyebrows too. But the 2000X had just darker red eyebrows. So I went... Where is that custom head? Is this it? It is. So I went and customized mine up, painting his eyebrows dark red instead of having the big old Groucho Marx eyebrows, which actually makes quite a bit of difference. Well, then we got the 2000X head, 2000X, which already had the darker eyebrows. Now I wanted to do some cool customs with mine, as you can see. So I have this one that has two big claws. Oh, so they're consistently the same size. I put a little pin in this one to keep it open. So there you go. Are they kind of fun and cool to do? And then I also customized one to look like the original toy back in the 80s. So what I did was, you can see they made it all cool with this red around there and red around the arms and everything else, and red belly, and did all that coolness. Well, I reverted it all back to just being tan and made it look just like the 80s, like he's wearing a wrestling helmet on his head, as opposed to being an actual claw individual with the red skin. So this was my attempt to make it look more like the 80s. And I gave him the Skeletor feet too, because he came with the Buzz-Off legs. So you can see I tried to make my own version that was similar to the two different ones we had in the 80s. So there we go. Whew, that's a lot of talking. Let's see, Juan Solo says, you mean you have two right feet? This must be somebody else answering. Nettie Perry. I bought Human Relations shoes on wrong foot. How do I fix it? Oh, you just heat them up and pull them off, man. That's it. Yep. They're really easy to pull off. But you know what? I will just stick one in the hot water now and show you guys how to do it while we're waiting to talk about these figures here. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. He's way in the corner of my shelf. I got too many boxes sitting around. I got all of my Silverhawks unopened all over the floor. All right, so I'm just going to take this guy here and just toss him into the hot water, and we'll just swap his feet out later on so you can see how to do it. I bend his knees so I don't get the steam coming up and ruining the paint. And we'll just drop him right into the hot water, just like that. And we will pull those off. All right. So then we get the Revelation one, or not Revelation, the Origins one. And the Origins one, he comes with the Buzz-Off legs. But you can easily swap out these boots for some kind of Skeletor legs or something if you wanted to. And I wanted to do a dual giant claw too. And I thought, you know what? I don't need to. I actually did it with the 80s scare or the 80s Clawful years ago. I actually cut one off and put it on the other side and actually looked pretty cool. But so let's get back to our new Eternia one, the one you guys are waiting to talk about. Hey, Masterverse Toy Hunter, thanks for joining us. Glad you're here. How about He-Man from the He-Man Revelation? Both boots are on the wrong way. How do I take shoes off and switch them over the right way? Yep, I'm going to show you that coming up next. Oh yeah, you already said thanks, Hebro. Sure. All right, so let's see here. We got this piece right here to go on his back. And it goes over his head, I imagine. And just attaches on his back. Just like that. And it also acts as a shield, it looks like. So let's go ahead and take this back off. And it's got like a little thing to hang on to. If you can see it in there. That I imagine somehow his claw hangs onto that. Just like that. That's what I'm guessing. Not very effective. Oh well. I personally don't like it for his back. It'd be cool if this little neck piece wasn't on there, being it straps around his head. It just looks like he's being strangled, or it just looks kind of weird on his neck. It's like he has no neck anymore. So I'm not actually a fan. If I was going to use this on his back, I would take and cut the straps off here real close, and then just use poster putty or something and just stick it on there just like that if I really wanted that crustacean on his back. I wouldn't put it around his head. But that's just my own call that I would do. All right, then we have the Mace of Power. Mace of Power. Now, what's funny is he always had this hoop on here, so you could slide it on his hands. They first started going to buzz off, but it looks like that doesn't work too well. So literally just stick it in his hand and rotate it around. Then he's got the big chomping thing on this side. And let's talk about his extra armor. Extra armor. Now, I don't know if I'm a fan of this armor or not. Again, it's kind of weird. It's like Ram Man's armor. It's like feels like an afterthought. It feels like those superhero figures they came out with that had extra armor you could put on that no kid ever used. Just so they can have extra accessories. But the nice part is it does have a place to store his mace. A place for the mace. Oh, you know what? That's a place for the shield thing. What? Oh, psh. That's to hook on. Oh, that is lame. Okay, I see where you're going to this, Mattel, but I don't like it. Too much garb. There you go. Way better. That's more like it. That's the Clawful we know and love. All right. Let's see how well he can squish He-Man's head, because that's an important feature to know. And he can squish his head, no problem. So that is good to know for those of you who wanted to squish He-Man's head. Let's try around the waist too. Oh yeah. You can just grab He-Man by the waist and hoof him up if his elbow had some more strength to it. Oh, there we go. Let's lean him back so we can have the right weight distribution going on there. Balance, man. Balance. Okay. If I bend this leg more, straighten this one out more. Let's see if we can't get him to hold him up. Oh. I can't do it, man. I'm giving it all she's got, Captain. Oh. Is that the breaking point? Oh, there we go. There's the breaking point. Oh. All right. So that could be fun. That could be a fun little throw He-Man around. Anytime we can throw He-Man around, it's a good thing. All right. Oh, his eyebrows. He does not have the crazy Groucho Mark eyebrows. but his eyes look really weird. I wonder if his eyes glow in the dark. If his eyes glow in the dark, that would be so cool. Let me grab my glow in the dark flashlight here. My room is just too messy. I don't even know where my flashlight's at. No. Oh well, I'll have to test it out later and make a follow-up video once I find my glow-in-the-dark UV light. All right, well, while we're waiting, let's go ahead and switch that He-Man's feet around. Pull out my blue tray to not get my table all wet. Erp. All right, so real quick on this, I'm gonna go back to Clawful. If it's just the feet and not the boots, once you heat them up, you can just pull these feet right off. They got a pin right there, see? Oops. I guess I gotta aim that better so you can see. And then you could swap them. You can see the pinhole on there. And if it's the whole entire boot, once you get it hot, you can just pull the boot right off and swap them. The boot will have an R or an L in it, and you can spot that in there. Usually somewhere on there. There we go, L. Ha! Mine's on the wrong feet. What the heck? Oh, no, it's not. That was the left foot. I thought I yanked off the right one. This one should have an R on it. Yep, there's the R. R, you matey. And then so you can make sure that these are on right. And then, of course, the feet should be slightly curved on the inside. All right. There you go, man. Hopefully that helps you. Now he's all rubbery. All right, let's get you guys the comments. Kind of undecided about Clawful. Well, Jay, let me put your feelings, or let me put you your aside a little bit. This Clawful is really, 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 really cool. Let me go ahead and order them in the order I like them in best. I wish I had my 2000X Clawful because he was cool, but he was a statue. He was not an actual action figure. But I did make mine movable. So let's see. My favorite Clawful. I got a lot of customs here. You know, I'm going to have to go with Masterverse. Masterverse, number 1. Number 2 is the original Clawful with the 2000X head. Number 3 is my double claw. Ah. Number 4 is my old remnant. Number 5 is the Clawful with the buzz-off legs from the 80s. Number 6 is Origins Clawful. And last but not least, the last Clawful is the 80s Clawful with the Skeletor legs. So those are my Clawfuls in order of which ones I like best. So believe it or not, this time I actually did choose Masterverse, which I know is hard to believe because I always choose classics. But this Masterverse, it is cool. It's got a lot of articulation. The only thing I don't like is the double jointed elbows. But this claw, I like that it's adjustable. And I like that this one opens too instead of being solid. We've never had the small claw open before. So this is a huge plus. I mean, even in classics, my favorite, the big claw was spring loaded. But the small one was just stuck, stationary. You couldn't open or close. So the Masterverse takes the prize this time. Let's compare him next to Beastman. Beastman! Oh yeah, Beastman's still the beast. He is crab infested. Oh. Now his storyline I think is a little ridiculous. I think they took it too far with the whole, in one snap he can sink a ship, you know. Yeah, I don't buy that. And you know what? It kind of minimizes Merman now. Because if he's that powerful and that scary on the sea, you know, Merman's chopped liver now. I don't like that. Merman's just the tuna of the sea. But this Clawful was cool. He is going to go in with my classics. Same with that Beast Man. Not Ram Man, but I'm sure that when they come out with Whiplash, he's going to end up in my classics too. Yeah, put him in the water, Todd. He's a crab. Have him for dinner. You know what? I am tempted, though, just to put the 2000X head on him and see what it looks like. So let me go ahead and take this head off. I'm surprised he didn't come with any extra heads. And here's the 2000X head right here. Oh, I got to heat it up. It's too small. So I may swap that head out and just leave the 2000X head on there. You will see how close the color is. And what's weird is, look at this. They integrated the red and the shell almost right into each other. That is some cool integration there. Look at all my lights are freaking out. I got too many blue lights on. I got a blue light on over here on this side. I got a blue light over here. I think they're freaking out my my lighting in here with the camera. I think the camera doesn't know what to do with these blue lights on it. Let's see. The Fisherman Eternia would love to catch Clawful. Yes. If you like crab meat, there is a lot there. Ugh. You know, I kind of like that. Oh, you guys can't even see. Boop. There you go. All right, blue lights, you have got to go. Let me just turn those off and see if it helps the lighting in here at all. No, it doesn't. I think the problem is the black TV is being too black. Maybe I'll turn on my sky. See if that helps the lighting at all. There we go. I do have an anti-glare shield coming soon. So once that comes, that'll be great, because then you can't see my reflection so much in the TV. All right. Almost there. One more click to start the sky. Here it comes. There we go. Boop. The sky's on now. Yeah, that does actually make them look, helps balance the color better, having that sky turned on. Yes, that 2000X head looks way better than the one they gave us. Here's the head they gave us. There's a huge difference between the two. Oh, a new Eternia Scareglow. That would rock. Now, I really like my Scareglow that I have with classics, but you never know. You never know. I mean, look, I'm changing out my Clawful. This will be my new Clawful that I use instead of all the cool customs that I made. I'll probably have other ones be his henchmen and underlings. Yes, the Revelation Scarecrow stunk. He really did. You know what I really want? I want a new Masterverse Lady Slither. I know there's no Snake Men yet for Masterverse, but I really want a Lady Slither for my classics, and so a Lady Slither in Masterverse would be awesome, especially the new Eternian. Yep, just the head glows, unless you spent the extra money on the special released version they had. Did I order the Mondo Skeletor? I have not ordered him yet. I don't know if I am or not. I don't know how many days we got left. Hey, Jonathan, thanks for joining us. Yes, Clawful is pretty amazing. Will you put another big claw on Clawful? You know, I don't think I will, because this one's so much different. In order to change the claw out, I'm going to have to take apart this elbow here, because you pull it off of the bicep, be facing the wrong direction, and you can't just pull the hand off and swap it. Where with classics, all I had to do was swap this one pin right here, and once that pin was swapped, I could then swap the whole entire arm. So it was easy to do the swap on it. And even with Origins, it's easy too. You just pull it off right here with this pin, and it's really easy to do. So even with Origins, it'd be really easy to swap out and give yourself 2 giant claws. But it'd be hard to give yourself 2 small claws though, because these lines are on the wrong side. You'd probably have to go and use a buzz off to do it or something. When it came to the original one, it was way hard to do. I literally chopped the arm off here and chopped the arm off here, added a metal pin, and then took that metal pin and heated it up and jammed the arm back onto after I sanded it with a Dremel tool to match, and then slid it on the metal pin. And then once the plastic cooled from using the hot pin with actually used a lighter to heat it up back in the day. Then the plastic kind of melted because I even melted the plastic too a little bit, and then it fused with the metal pin inside and gave it a pretty solid connection. So that's how I did it way back in the day. What a pain. Now, of course, I ruined the figure doing it. In fact, you know what? Let me just show you. I called him Crab Freak. I got the picture on my website. Let's go to he-bro.com. If you've never been there before, my website is he-bro.com. he-bro.com. And once you're in he-bro.com, you then go to, I think it's customs. Let's see. Yep. Customs. And I got a lot of customs on here, but I don't see my Crab Freak. Let's go up on here. Oh, there he is. Burp. There is my Crab Freak. And you can see him there with his extra claw. And you can see kind of the plastic kind of melted right around there while I jammed it on. But it's funny too. I had a really crazy story for him. I put his claws are both the same size. His family just owned him because of the strange birth defect. And it says there's a legend that states someday a crab with 2 equal claws will come and rule as the king crab. Is Crab Freak this long-awaited king as foretold? So that is, and so you can see here, I tell you how I did it. Took a small rod, 1/8 of an inch, heated it up, shoved it into the one arms, heated it again, then pushed on the 2 arms together. Oh, I used a hot knife, that's right, to melt around the joint to make it look seamless. I forgot about that. So there is my Crab Freak from way back in the day. But he was one of the figures I sold long time ago. Basically, Clawful is a bad guy version of Clampchamp. I suppose, except for Clampchamp's clamp's not attached to his arm. But yeah, I guess I could see that. I think what it was, they had a whole series of figures with big right hands. We had Fisto, we had Jiu-Jitsu, and then we had Clawful. And so I was surprised they didn't have the spring-loaded arm back in the 80s. If you pull it down, it goes pa-ching, or pulls down or whatever. I'm just surprised they didn't do that with Clawful having the same spring action, being he had one giant hand. You know, so it was kind of weird. And I'm also surprised it didn't turn here. You'd think with the way this is designed, they could have had this rotate back in the 80s too. You're just stuck with this on top and this on the bottom. So, anyway, I think that is all that I got. If he is, he will punish his family. Yes, he's King Crab. Bum, bum, bum. No, I think from being abused all his life and knocked down, he has lots of humility and understands people a lot better. So he will treat his family well. He will not be bad to them, even though they are bad to him. Just like the story of oh, what is his name? Someone help me. It's the guy with the coat of many colors. You know, and he got sold by his brothers into slavery and later on became one of the rulers of Egypt, second from the king. What was his name? Somebody help me. I can't remember. How could this happen? Joseph. Masterverse Toy Hunter, thank you so much. was like, I couldn't remember his name. That's bad. Anyway, he's keeping a 2000X head. It looks so much better. If you guys can snag a 2000X head, they're cheaper to get than the old Clawfuls that came in the 5-pack head pack. Maybe it's a 6-pack head pack. I don't know. You know what? I got one up here in the corner. I can just go look at the head pack. Never mind. I'm not going to pull the head pack out. And the colors do match close, which is surprising because these two heads aren't close in color. This has more yellow. This is more orange. But actually, once you put it on the body, it's not that noticeable. It's different. It's just slightly different, and it's not like really noticeable. Mike's like, I'll be looking for that head. All right. Well, I think that is it. Someone asked me another question. I guess I can answer that question too. They asked me if Roboto's knees come off the same way as the other figures. You know what? I'll just make a separate video for that. I'll make it a Help Me Hebrew video. I'll end this one now. I always want to get ahead. Ah, Scott, you're hilarious. Please continue remembering. Yes, I will definitely pray for you, Charles. Yep. Masterverse Toy Hunter said it all. Until next time, good night and good journey all. Bye now. Yeah, I'm really excited to Point Dread fix too. Bye now.